Whether you're just getting into photography or you've been at it for a few years, sometimes you'll take a shot and it just won't look that good. And sometimes it's hard to work out why. If this is the case, ask yourself this one question: what is the subject? Chances are your subject isn't that obvious and you need to work on getting that subject more prominent in your photo, or getting rid of other distractions. Looking back through some of my old images from years ago, it is a little bit embarrassing. I used to take images of random landscapes, but without any kind of subject to them. I'd get a good exposure, I'd follow some of the compositional rules, but it just wouldn't look that good. And this was the reason why a lot of the time. Nowadays, I always look for a subject to photograph and then build my image around that subject. This is especially so with landscapes as well. You might think that the landscape itself is the subject, and that can work sometimes, but to make them work even better and to make your images even more compelling, if you find a subject and work your image around that, that's when your landscape photos will really start to stand out. Now, a subject can be as simple as a prominent mountain, a person in the frame, a lake, a volcano. The list is endless. And then with general photography, it can be a person, an object, just something that draws the eye and is the main aim of that photograph. Whatever you're photographing and want to draw the viewer's eye to, that is basically your subject. Another thing to take into consideration is that if an image is really cluttered, it can be really confusing to the viewer as to what the subject is. You might know what the subject is, but if the viewer can't see the subject straight away, then your image is not doing its job. So make sure you get rid of anything that distracts the viewer from the subject to make it stand out even more. And remember, don't be afraid of editing things out of your photos. Some of the greats, from Ansel Adams to Steve McCurry, edited, cropped, and dodged and burned their photos to draw more attention to the subject in their frame. So if you're not happy with your photos, ask yourself this one question: what is the subject? Now let me know if you're struggling to find the subject in your shots, or whether you find it quite easy. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. And if you want to learn more about composition in photography, click here next. And for more photography tutorials, click down here. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for weekly tutorials in photography and videography. I'll see you next time.